Hello, YouTubers. Welcome back to Yorkshire Media One. I am Mark with the numpty.
Hi, I'm Jen, and I'm definitely not the numpty. Mark is, as
She-
we know.
She's definitely the numpty
Everyone
with the numpty
agrees
red
with
hair.
me on this. He is the numpty.
Yeah. We are your hosts, your presenters, whatever it is you want us to be. And yes, we are better and cheaper than the BBC and ITV and all the others. We're just more entertaining. Right, so this is Mark and Jen's talk. Now, we are talking about reincarnation. And that, so... And we'll talk about this when I've read the bits and bats about it, what I've found. You know what I mean? Because people wanting to... I think people are wanting to, I don't know if you want to know, but there you go. Right, so reincarnation, as also known as rebirth or transmigration, is the philosophical or religious concept that the non-physical essence of living being begins anew, lifespan in a different physical form or body after biological death. In the most beliefs involving reincarnation, the soul of a human being is immortal and does not disperse after the physical body has perished. Upon death, the soul merely transmigrates into a newborn baby or into an animal to continue its immortality. The term transmigration means the passing of a soul from one body to another after death. Reincarnation, Pujaman, is a central tenet of Indian religions as Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, and Sikhism. Sikhism is a various forms. It occurs belief in many streams of Judaism and in certain pagan religions, including Wicca, and in some beliefs in indigenous people of the Americas and Aboriginal Australians, though the most belief in afterlife or spirit world. Some ancient Greek historical figures such as Pythagoras, Plato, belief in metamorphosis. Although the majority of the demonization within the religions do not believe that an individual reincarnate. Particular groups within these religions do refer to reincarnation. These groups include mainstream, historical, and controversial. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. What I don't. Recent scholarly research have explored the historical religions between different sects and their beliefs about reincarnation. This research includes views of different religions like Muslim, Islam, things like that. North America have developed an interest in reincarnation, and contemporary works sometimes mention the topic. So that's reincarnation. Now, what I'm asking is reincarnation, is it real? Is it a myth or is it true? To me, it's a myth. It's never been scientifically proven. But we do have someone who can explain a little bit more about it. Jen.
Well, reincarnation.
Go on, tell them what you told me.
I actually don't think it's a myth that people are making it up, because there's got to be something for your soul, your spirit, to move on to after death. Because you hear there are loads of stories online that I've seen where kids as young as 4 and 5 have talked about past life. Something like, say, 200 years ago. Oh, and they'd say things like, "Oh, mummy, I remember being a little boy," and they're a girl, and I used to wear a flat cap and things like that. Or my daddy used to do this. So there's got to be something in it. There's got to be some form of past life that child has probably had, because how would they know what them people did back in 200 years before? What they wore, how their lives were, because he wouldn't have been told that.
Yeah, but it hasn't been. How can I put it? That's what you believe.
Yeah, there's got to be something there. There's got to be some truth in it somewhere.
Well, there can't be, because it's never been scientifically
And also,
proven.
you've got the side of it where people get regressed, like regression, where they get hypnotized to talk about past lives, and they talk about things happening in a past life that they probably wouldn't even know about.
That could be an implant, in my opinion. But yeah. Right. Has reincarnation been proven? No, reincarnation has not been scientifically proven. While some individuals report memories and experiences that they interpret as evidence of reincarnation, there is no universally accepted scientific evidence to support the concept belief in reincarnation, primarily a matter of a personal faith and spiritual or physical. No, what that? At bottom. Physical what?
Philosophical conviction.
Conviction. So that's what it says about that. So
Philosophical. That's it.
So it hasn't been scientific.
Yeah, I know it's not been scientifically proven, but there has to be something.
Hang on.
Because
arguments and evidence considered, children. Right. So children, some research like Dr. Ian Stevenson and Dr. Jim Tucker have studied cases where young children spontaneously report memories of past lives. These children often exhibit behaviours, phobias, or preferences that seem to align with the life they describe.
See, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Verification of details. In some cases, researchers have attempted to verify details of children's claims by researching public records, historical documents, and containing family member, the deceased individual the children claim to have been. All these are case studies, like those of James Leninger, memories of being World War II pilot, and Ryan Hammond's memories of being Hollywood extra, and the agent have been cited as potentially compelling cases. Lack of scientific proof. Despite these cases studies, there is no universally accepted scientific method to prove or disprove reincarnation scientifically. Inquiry relies on observation and falsibility, which are difficult to apply to the concept of the reincarnation, as it involves events that are not readily observable or repeatable. So there's all sorts on it, but I've just read that small part in that defence. So yeah, people are, do ask all these questions.
It's not been scientifically proved or disproved, but there are things out there that are happening that could prove that there is something.
Right. Well, like I say, what does it mean when someone is reincarnated? Which religion believes in it?
I know a lot of religions do believe in reincarnation as well.
What does it mean when someone is reincarnated? reincarnation is the religious or philosophical belief that the soul or spirit, after biologically death, begins a new life in a new body. That may be a human or animal, spiritual, depending on the moral quality of the previous life's actions. I don't get that. I mean, I don't think you've got to be good to. What does the Bible say about reincarnation? What happens with reincarnation? How do I know I'm reincarnated? You basically don't.
Exactly. You just start
Basically
afresh
don't.
with a new life, but then the only time you could probably think of anything is maybe like if flashbacks come of a previous life.
So this reincarnation can't be proven or disproven, but also when they've run tests on it, they can't be repeated. It's not repeatable. So that's where that's where it fails to prove to science that it's viable. You know what I mean, or it's possible. So it's just one of these. Yeah, I mean, if you're religious, then it's a leap of faith. If you're like me, I'm a spiritualist. Now, do I believe in life? Yes, I do, but I don't believe that I'm reincarnated. I believe in life after death. I believe in ghosts and things like that. Yeah, I wouldn't like to think I were coming back here.
But like it says, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't
Oh,
know.
I bloody
Because
would.
they said you'd either come back as another
Well,
human, or your spirit could actually go into an animal to carry
yeah,
on your
but
mortal life.
all right. To throw this in, right? So this is about reincarnation. Yeah, this is another subject for another day, and I'll explain it to you after the video because I don't think people know this, but you do pick who your parents are going to be before you're born.
Really?
Yeah, so like your mum and dad, you'd have picked like I picked mine. You don't know if they're going to be violent or all like that, but I'd picked, yeah, before we were born. Yeah, you choose. That's the spiritual belief.
Mm.
You see, and that's what I believe in. So yeah, I know a little bit about it, but it's right. I mean, so if you are religious, you find I don't mean to offend. I just thought I'd do it as an interesting subject because me and Jen talked about this last night, and yeah, an hour.
Mark said I was being intelligent.
You're always intelligent, but for some reason she become very she become very, 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 very wise very quickly. And we discussed this, and I just said, look, it has not been proven, it has not been scientifically proven, and things like that. Yeah, there's no proof out there that this does or does not happen. You can't prove or disprove it. It's a leap of faith through whatever religion you are.
Or beliefs you have.
Yeah. Or whatever beliefs you have.
Like the
It's as
way
simple
I
as
look,
that.
like I've said before, like I said earlier, I believe there's got to be something because, yes, your body is just
Go on.
a vessel, basically, for your soul and your spirit.
Well, you're
When your
partly
body
right.
dies,
Well, you're partly right.
when your body dies, your spirit and soul has to go somewhere, i.e., someplace. Sometimes it's like ghosts,
Right.
and that can't move on. But I'm sure there is something where your spirit and soul goes on to afterwards, because that can't be it. That your life can still, the mortal side of it can still carry on.
Yeah, but right. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, a lot of people do believe once they're dead, they're dead. That's it. That's the end. Now, what I believe, and this is how I got it explained. Think of an egg. So you got an eggshell hole, yeah. Someone dies, so it's a broken vessel. You crack an egg, you let the contents out, don't you? Then you've got an empty shell. That's what happens with your body. You're an empty shell when
Exactly,
you die.
you're a vessel. Your body is just a vessel.
But when you die, everything your spirit within. This is what we're talking about. The soul, the spirit within, goes into the ether, and that's what I believe. That's how we get transcendental travel, i.e., ghosts spirits wandering around here because they do, some ghosts, they don't know they're dead. Some spirits just wake up dead and they don't know they're dead. And that can happen. You can wake up dead, believe it or not. But yeah, so it all goes into ether, and that's what I believe, that of trans-dimensional travel. That's what I believe. That's my belief. You know what I mean? I don't believe that there's a kingdom of heaven waiting, you know, all like that. But I do believe that I will transcend and travel into another dimension. It's as simple as that. So what do you think?
Yeah, maybe
Go on.
maybe some spirits do just pass on into the afterlife, like ghost spirits. But there might be some spirits or souls that their bodies might, their souls might have, as I've said, like died too early, so they could actually get reborn again in reincarnation to live.
Yeah, I know that. Right. But you do realise that we all made the same stuff. You do realise that we're made up of what the earth is made up.
Mm.
Don't you? You know, the earth is made up of thousands and millions of atoms, yeah?
Mm.
We're made up of atoms and electricity, yeah? Very similar to the earth, yeah? So what they say is what comes from the earth will go back to the earth. That's what I believe.
Mm.
Yeah, go on.
But yeah, I still think that there is some form of reincarnation.
So we are
like
star people. We're made of the same star stuff as what the planet and the universe is made. Do you believe that? Because we are. Carl Sagan said that.
No, I honestly don't know.
Yeah, but what do you believe?
About what?
Reincarnation.
I believe that there is some form of reincarnation out there, because even though it hasn't been proven or disproven, there's stories out there, like I said, and what you read on there about children saying things that they used to be this person all those
It is always
ago.
children what do it.
And they can't have been told to say that, like, oh, you were this person in the past life. This is what you've got to say.
No, but imagination can run riot.
Yeah, but for them to actually name things from the past, like, i.e., my name was.
Yeah, but I've been saying all my life. Right, this is what I've been saying all my life. Is this a form of reincarnation? Because I've been saying all my life, because my mum told me this, you're the true King of England, you died on a battlefield. Yeah, just remember that, Matt. You're the true King of England. I've been saying that all my life. So you're saying, I'm remembering King Richard III's last battle.
I honestly don't know. Like I said, there's no proof.
Am I reincarnated?
You never know. You might be. But like I said, these kids are naming names.
I'm not making a joke of it, but I'm just trying to narrow it down.
There was that kid on that thing you read out who named a name that when they checked it up in the history books, that person existed. That person was exactly
but it would have come. But that's a common name.
Yeah, but no, even the surname, and the kid knew so much details about that thing, like, oh, I was a pilot in the war.
Well, that's what he thinks.
That was proven.
Not really, but
so
yeah, right there.
How would they know all them details if they haven't been reincarnated?
Because they've been told. I mean,
what, at a very young age?
Well, I was told about my uncle.
But they wouldn't they wouldn't remember things like that. Yeah. They would just carry on playing with their toys.
See, I'm mentioning stuff what's meant for another video. So, what's your belief? Do you believe in reincarnation or not?
And like I said, regression as well is very similar to proving in reincarnation, because you get regressed.
Yeah, but it's not scientifically proven. Right.
I know.
We're going to have to wrap this up. We'll have to wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, that's all about reincarnation. You've got Jen's view, you've got my view. Not take it mickey or anything like that. Whatever you believe, you believe. Right. If you like it, please subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell icon here. All that will let you know when I'm uploading another video. Please share the video to your friends and your family and to other social media like Facebook, X and Instagram. Use the comment section below. Let me think what you think to reincarnation. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye for now.
Bye, Numpty.
Bye.
Numpty.
Bye, Numpty.